Hey guys, Rich from Rich Mid Gaming. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well. Happy Wednesday. It's been a couple of weeks since we've done a Bugle, but be honest guys, there's been nothing to really talk about. But we do, however, have, as the thumbnail and the title of this alludes to, not only Mr. Quinn Duggan with us today, but we also have another very special guest, Mr. Dr. Norbert. We've actually got a doctor on the channel now, Cameron, wherever you are, if you're watching.
I mean, we have technically had both Norbert and Jonah on here before.
We have, yes. Yeah, Jonah's not a real doctor.
Yeah, Jonah's technically a doctor, yeah.
No, I know, but it doesn't count. He just reads and does tattoos and stuff.
We've also got a second special guest, and it's fan favourite. I'm sure everyone will be glad to see its return. It's my McFlurry.
The Quinn's McFlurry, yep. Ron couldn't join us today, not because he wasn't around, but because last minute I realised I wasn't set up to have 4 people on and didn't have the time to do loads of new layouts and things like that. So Ron sends his condolences, everyone. But Norbert, how on earth are you doing, sir? Welcome back to the Rich Mid Gaming Show. How's things?
Well, thank you. Well, things are. I feel a little more nervous now that I'm probably angering the Ron fan base here, who've been waiting anxiously.
Don't worry about it.
No, Ron doesn't have a fan base. He just has all those people that hate the fact he vapes.
That is true. That is very, very true.
Unprofessional. And I, you know what? Honestly, I side with them.
So yeah, guys, special edition of the show today. As there's no real news from Atomic Mass Games on MCP, other than some silhouettes of characters that they've already shown us fully.
I wonder who they could be.
Yeah, exactly. There is, however, some big news in the world of MCP, and that is Season 11. I can't believe we're already on Season 11, Norbert, of the TTS MCP League is almost upon us. I think 14th of the month is the final sort of deadline day, isn't it, for registration. But Norbert, do you want to tell us all a little bit about the TTS League, your involvement in it, what you do, and how it's going to be run this year?
Okay, yeah, gladly. And thanks for having me on for this, because we are making the push now. As you mentioned, the deadline is this coming Sunday evening at bracket time that you need to have signed up for. It's really easy, and I'll talk about that. But for folks that don't know, the TTS Leagues, TTS stands for Tabletop Simulator. There is a really fantastic free mod for TTS to play Marvel Crisis Protocol. Rich and Quinn have talked about it, I'm sure, a lot of times because they've been playing in the leagues. And Rich is also running his Champion of Champions series on TTS. So it's a really well-established platform, and it's a really low cost investment. Naturally, you need a computer, but then you buy the TTS software for, I don't know, I think I got it for £15, so maybe $20. And then, like I said, the mod is for free. So it's a great way to play if for a couple of reasons. If you don't have anybody nearby that you can go play with, it's a fantastic platform for that. It's great to get extra games in, even if you play live, so you can test things out. And if you just like to meet new people and want to play with people from all kinds of different countries and stuff like that, it's a great way to do that as well. So, and let me ask you guys, you've been in leagues in the past, and Rich has actually been a finalist in a couple instances. What are your plans for Season 11? Are you going to be joining?
Yeah, the plan is to join. It unfortunately coincides with a holiday for me. So last week of May, I'm going to be away, and Quinn has just dropped.
Yeah.
So
he's
back. He's going to be back in a second. You've got double Rich for a moment.
I don't know. What Discord just decided it wanted to turn itself on and off again. It's good.
There we go. Quinn's back. So I think I'm going to be playing, but with the view that I'm at least going to have one loss, because I do need to forfeit a game. But I will be bringing my trusty Winter Guard, who have been serving me very, very well of late, to the point where I may be even taking them over to Copenhagen for the WTC. So I did see that you just painted up Sir Major. So yeah, my plan is to join. Look, I mean, for anyone out there...
Have you been telling lies about me? I'm suggesting you've been telling lies.
Gonna be who's telling lies? Sorry.
I assume one of you, because Daz is telling you that I made cuts, which is true.
Oh
So
yes, so
you said
yeah,
something
no,
to the
we've
contrary.
both made. Yeah, Quinn did make cuts as well. You made cuts with
Fucking Midnight Suns,
Midnight
mate.
Suns, didn't you?
Yeah.
So Ron in season 10 made cuts with Defenders.
Whoa, Season X.
Season X, sorry, yes, yeah, it was season X.
Also, Norbert, I do have a question. Why is this season not Season XI?
I don't know.
Your naming conventions are all over the place.
I
I'm
need
going
to
to file a
change.
formal complaint.
I'm just I'm emulating Apple here. So we went with the X just like they did, but now we're back on the numbers.
The
It's fair.
ITTS League.
But I just want to reiterate something that you said there, Norbert, because I think, for a lot of us that play war games of any sort, especially over lockdown, TTS was an absolute godsend, right? Because it was the only way we can play games. And whilst it definitely doesn't replace going to a friendly, going to a local gaming store, competing in a local league, rolling real dice, the fact that you are able to play people from outside of your normal, and I hate to use the word, but meta, you get to experience, gameplay from all over the globe, whether it be the guys over in Australia, some of the guys in Europe, and lots of the guys over in the US that play as well. And I think it's really nice. It's always really interesting to see kind of where different regions are in the game at the moment. Because I think it is fair to say that different play styles, we definitely see different lists when you compare the York Weekender, for example, to I think it was LVO that was like a week or so, the very competitive LVO that was a couple of weeks beforehand. So I think it's always really interesting, but just as a great way to get to know other people and play against other people. It's just a great way of being able to do that.
I mean, I will warn that you can meet some reprobates via TTS. For example, Rich groomed me via TTS. It's why
Technically,
I'm now on
you
this channel.
groomed me. You gave me my first ever demo game on
is that right?
This is true.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it would have gone the other way around, but okay, good.
No. Quinn gave me
what
mine.
are you trying to say, Norbert? I can
just-
teach people things.
You also have Quinn to blame for Ron playing on TTS as well, because we bullied him for too long. But no, look, and I think also credit to the guys that have built the mod. It's at this stage now where, whilst again I will reiterate, it never replaces rolling dice, sat across from somebody, playing a game, going for a pint afterwards and a bite to eat, and all these other good stuff that we get to do, especially when it's a weekend event. But there are some standard of living things in
Why
the
isn't there a
TTS
button
mod.
to deploy all of the objectives in real life?
Exactly.
Norbert, can you start working on that? You're a doctor. You can make that happen.
Just use magic. That's what I do.
Yeah, but no, it's really good. It's really, really good. And I suppose from me and Quinn as part of the community, Norbert, thank you to, and I know it's not just you. I know there's a group of you guys that do this. Both, obviously you're looking after the overall thing, but you've got I think Daz and Jonah in the UK, I want to say, are running the European stuff, and to all the other guys that run it elsewhere. It's your own time that you take to organise these things and run them. And having run my own events, it does feel like you are herding cats sometimes when you're trying to get people to do certain things and have games completed by a certain time. But no, a big thank you from us to you guys for putting it on in the first place. It is really, really appreciated.
Excellent. Yeah, no, thank you for that. And we've honed our craft now, so it runs really smoothly now. We've kind of cut off all the fat of it, so it isn't as onerous to run as well, and I think it makes it easier for the players. So we've talked a bit about why people should join. So this is an announcement for people to join, but let me explain how it works. It's very, very simple. You play one game a week. That you and your opponent decide which night to play it on. We tend to work into brackets. So there are 5 brackets now, which are based around time zones, but you don't have to pick the bracket that you live in if that time zone doesn't suit you. Because like if you're a shift worker or for whatever reason you have different times, the point is that you need to be available to play around 7 p.m. of that bracket's time zone wherever you're living. And we have ones for the West Coast of the United States, Central United States, East United States, then Europe, which is based off of the London time zone, so the UK time zone. And then we have one for Oceania, which is based off of this east coast of Australia, so Sydney time zone. And so you play one game a week. It gets pulled on Longshanks, the matchup. You reach out to your opponent, you set it up, and you can take any roster you want. Open rosters. You don't have to reveal it until you show up for the game itself. And that happens for 6 weeks. And some people take it very seriously. Other people are brand new to the game and want to play this way, or they're testing stuff out. So the point is to just come and play regardless of your skill level. The 6 weeks is just for fun, basically. If you're in it to be competitive, great. If not, you just got 6 weeks with wildly different opponents that you probably never will be able to see otherwise. And that's it. So, however, if you do go X and 1, so have at least 5 wins, if not 6, then you get invited into an invitational bracket, and that lasts for 5 weeks. We take a week off, and then we do 5 weeks where single elimination. So every week, if you play, you have to keep winning until we get one winner to win the overall season.
And it was the UK's very own Joe Manji, wasn't it, that won last time round, I think, running X-Men X-Force.
I mean, it's
Quinn,
Season X, isn't it?
Season X, X-Force, X-Men, yeah. It was... and we've had the pleasure of playing with Joe as well at a number of events, Quinn, haven't we? He does
I've never actually played Joe. I've been at plenty of events with Joe, but I've just never played him.
Okay. Swedish Troll says, might have to change what group I'm playing in then. Working evening shift in Europe could be complicated. I know of quite a few people. I think Daz typically plays in one of the American ones. I think there's 2 or 3 brackets in the US, Norbert, isn't there? I think Johnny Pastrami usually comes over and tries to infiltrate the UK, the EMEA time zone one. So yeah, it gives people a lot of flexibility. And the one thing I found is that whilst you state that 7 p.m. is the time, reaching out to your opponent and just saying, look, mate, I can't do this, I can do this. People are normally very, very amenable. I've had games at 9 o'clock in the morning before. I've had games at 11 o'clock at night. Just reach out to your opponent as early as possible and try and get something booked in. And you guys are quite amenable as well. So I've had games where my opponent couldn't make it for whatever reason, and we've played it on a Monday morning, and people have had to wait a little bit longer. But yeah, Quinn, TTS, your thoughts on it? Because I think it's fair to say that MCP wouldn't really be where it is today with the community we've got if we didn't have TTS as a mod on for MCP, and also the leagues that were run as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be a long way away from where it currently is. I think I started playing on TTS towards the tail end of Season 2, which is showing my age there. Obviously, I wasn't involved in that season because it was ongoing as I sort of got into the swing of things. But I think I played in Season 3, and I played in, I think, all of the seasons after that. Don't know the exact veracity of that statement, but I'm going to pretend it's true, because I think it is. Yeah, and, like, for me especially as well, like, I used to play Guild Ball, and I used to play a lot of Guild Ball on Vassal, which was, like, sort of like TTS, but 2D and not anywhere near as good. So, like, that was the main way I got reps in for, like, Guild Ball, and, like, TTS has very much become that same thing for me with MCP and now Shatterpoint. It's a very easy and convenient way of getting games in, whether that's in like a structured league format where you're going to get those games in, which is I think one of the big draws of the league, or whether it's just posting in an LFG channel or just organising it with a friend, just being able to go, I can't drive, I don't have to go to a game store, I can just sit in my room at my desk, have a game.
Right.
You often joke, don't, that your local gaming store is TTS.
My local gaming store is the internet. Yeah.
What I would also say as well is it's, for those of us that have been in the game from day one, and have, on a weekly or monthly basis bought all of the packs that came out. I think I worked it out the other day, and we're now at like $4,000 ish that you would need to drop in one. Yeah, I know, right? Everyone's turn the volume down so your partners can't hear how much money you spent on toy soldiers. But it's a big investment, and somebody coming into the game, they buy the core box. Whilst they might really like the idea of X-Men, or they love the Defenders or whatever it is, quite often the play style of a particular affiliation and your own personal preference may be different to what your favourite group of characters are. So I think it's a really, really good way of being able to try out new things, play some characters that maybe you haven't gone out there and bought before you actually go out and buy them as well. You should buy them because we want to keep AMG in business, yeah. But I think it's a really, really good mod out there. Daz has just said as well, NPC was released at a bad time, but I definitely agree that the TTS mod saved the game. I also think, Daz and Norbert, the group in London, I think are probably testament to this as well. I'm not sure we'd have the community we have here in the UK if it wasn't for TTS, because we all got to know each other and play each other on games and things during the TTS leagues and things like that. So then when it came to Tony running an event up in Manchester, there was groups from all over the UK that went there, or when Aaron runs his events in the Midlands, or you run your events in London. I think it built a very, very strong community, and all of a sudden you didn't mind even sometimes getting in a car by yourself to go to an event where you maybe don't know anybody in person, you've never met them before, but because you've played 5 or 10 games on TTS with some of them from there, it felt like you already knew them. So I think it made it that much easier as well.
Absolutely. It was the same feeling at Adepticon that I was just at right now. Loads of TTS players there came together for the first time ever in person. And it was like instantly, you could there was no awkwardness there. People just were really excited to be together after knowing each other for so long.
Yeah, so no, it's really good. So Norbert, let's get into the nitty gritty then. So what do people need to do to be able to sign up for the league itself? Where do they need to go?
All right, 3 easy steps. Number 1 is to join the Marvel Crisis Protocol TTS Discord server. And I'm sure I'll put a link into that for an invite there. I'll send you that, Rich. And then you need to go to the channel that's called, just checking to make sure I get it absolutely right. It's called Roles. And why you want to go there is that you need to click the big colored button for which bracket you want to join. And it shows the bracket and it shows the time zone. Again, you're looking for a time zone where you can play in that evening of that time zone. It doesn't have to be 7 p.m. exactly like you were mentioning, but around sometime in the evening of that time zone. You click that button, and then that will open up the TTS League channels to you. And if you go into the League Announcements channel, you will then see a really quick overview of how the league is structured. There's a link to the rules document, so you can read the rules all together. And lastly, and most importantly, is then the set of links to all the different Longshanks for each bracket. So there's 1 Longshanks for each bracket. So you click on that link for the bracket you want, you sign up on it, Longshanks, and that's it, you're registered. So again, join our Discord, click the button for the bracket you want to join so you can see the channels, and then go into those channels and click on the rules pack. Would be nice if you read that. We put a lot of time into writing it.
No,
and,
don't read it.
it tells you, I know it's classic gamer mentality not to read it, but read that. And then lastly, very importantly, is you need to click the link for the Longshanks bracket you want to join and register on Longshanks, because when we close the registration on Sunday, this Sunday, the 14th, around 8 p.m. bracket time. We then pull the first round off of whoever's registered in Longshanks, and that's it. If you missed the cutoff for 1 week or 2 weeks, whatever, you can always message us. Infinity Watch is the name of the group of TOs. message us and we'll add you in after that round. So like the next round that's going to be pulled, we can add you into that. It's just that you must have 5 wins minimum if you expect to try to get into the elimination rounds.
Yeah, I would say as well, even if you're 2 weeks late, message, you'll get to join. You just won't get to, you'll get 4 games in. You just won't get to join the finals, but who knows, it's some good experience for you as well. So yeah, and I have put a little link there to the Google Docs with all of the details on there. And yeah, I think most people that watch this are going to be part of the TTS Discord anyway, but if not, over on our Discord, I'll put a link on there so you guys can, or an invite on there so you guys can all join. But I think most people are on there anyway. But yeah, again, can't recommend it enough. It's a really, really good laugh. And it's just a really good way of getting some weekly games in.
Yeah, exactly. It's structured games that are supposed to be fun. And I just checked it. At the latest count now, we have 204 players already signed up across the entire league.
Fantastic. And I know me and Quinn haven't done it yet, so that's at least 206.
All right, okay.
We're
it's just
leading
crazy.
by example.
And there you will not find a bigger event globally. Like there is no bigger MCP event. So it's definitely worth taking part in, no matter what level of player you think you are.
Right.
Quinn still joins, and he's shit. So it's open to everyone.
It doesn't matter. I'm sick at Shatterpoint instead.
It is open to everyone, and I've already been speaking to the guys that are building the Shatterpoint mod, and we are looking at doing, not quite yet. We need to wait for a few more releases of character packs, I think, and maybe until the game's officially released before we start doing any big events. But we're looking at doing one for Shatterpoint as well.
Okay.
So Norbert, thank you very much. And again, I'm sure I speak on behalf of the whole community when I just say thank you again for, it's your own personal time and effort you put into hosting these. So it really, really is it is appreciated.
No problem. And one last thing I'll mention is if you are interested to see what this is all about before you decide to join, I have a Twitch channel that I stream 1 game a week from the league, which is twitch.com/dr_Norbert. But more importantly, if you're looking to join, I archive all those games onto YouTube. So if you go to my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Norbert Games, all one word, Dr. Norbert Games, Dr. Norbert Games, you can view some of the shows that we've done there, and you can see what the mod looks like and how much fun it is to play.
Yeah, and again, there's a link to Norbert's Twitch in the stream there.
Well, also,
so
if you pick the right videos, you get to see Norbert dressed up in like a snazzy suit.
That is true.
Pretty cool.
He always. I am a little bit disappointed with the lack of formal wear, Norbert, that you're bringing to
I got
to the
dressed
show.
up. I'm not even in pajamas this episode.
I've put a collared shirt on and everything just because we knew you were turning up. So
Wow, I did shave.
You did shave, which is more than me and Quinn have done. So that's absolutely fine. Well, guys. Norbert, thank you for joining us. Guys, we're going to really quickly round up the painting competition.
Wait, before you jump into that, Rich,
no,
real
absolutely.
quick, you mentioned the WTC. I have some news on that if you're interested in sharing that with your audience.
That'd be amazing, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, Rich mentioned that he is going to be coming to the World Team Championship. This is the first Marvel Crisis.
That wasn't me that left.
We have lost a Norbert.
Norbert down! Norbert down!
We've lost a Norbert.
That
We've lost
really
a Norbert.
scared me then, because I went and clicked on a different Discord, and it just went paranoia.
Can you keep an eye on Norbert? There we go.
He's there.
He's back. He's back.
Close the bloody tab trying to my excitement.
Hello,
The excitement.
Norbert threw like a big diva tantrum and just stormed off.
The excitement of the first WTC just took Norbert off track. Yeah.
Sorry about that. So yeah, what's exciting is this is the first World Team Championship for Marvel Crisis Protocol. We have teams of 5 players each coming from various countries all around the world, including the United States and all around Europe. And this will be happening at the Copenhagen Airport. It's an airport hotel right attached to the airport. October 22nd and no wait, let me make sure I get that right. It's that weekend, but let me. October 21st and 22nd, those 2 days.
Yeah.
And first of all, it's exciting. Rich is going to be representing England, as will I. So I'm excited about that. We have 3 teams coming from the UK, or England really, and then also 3 coming from the United States. I only mentioned that because they're making a big effort to come over, as you can imagine. It's super exciting. And so the news that we have is that we have 29 teams signed up for the MCP WTC currently, which means that we could really use at least one more team of 5 to come along. And if you have a country worth of people or people from that country, right, you could be living in a different country but be a citizen of it, and that would count you in as a member of that country. We could love to have that 30th team to even things up, or at least express your interest in joining, and then we could try to put 5 people together in what we usually call a Team UN, United Nations team, where we have it from all different places to
Do
kind
they
of
all
even us
have to
out.
wear like blue helmets to show that they're peacekeepers?
Hey,
Yeah.
that's up to the team. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this one. If you guys don't know, it's Gil Serepi. Am I pronouncing
right.
his
Yep.
name correct? So Gil Serepi, who again has made the effort and has made his way over to a number of events over here in the UK. We had the pleasure of trying his alcohol at the York Weekender that happened a little bit happened earlier in the year, which was
I'm just glad I don't drink.
yeah,
means I don't get these things forced upon me.
Yeah.
it was interesting to say the least. I had one try and then that was it. But I just think it's amazing. I mean, I've for me, MCP is the first game where I've really been involved with as an adult. So it's the first time that I've really gone and done any of these things. I did the Spring into Marvel event, which was my first weekender, which Norbert, you were at as well. You travelled all the way up from London up to Manchester. Quinn rolled out of bed because it's literally around the corner for him.
Amazing.
But I just love the fact that we've got this awesome community, not just here in the UK but globally as well, and people come to these events from all over. So yeah, reach out, let us know if you've got a team that you want to put in there. Or I'll just say we can put a UN team together. There we go.
Yeah.
There we
So
go.
the link you want to go to is WMHWTC. That stands for War Machine Hordes WTC, because we're doing it jointly with them at their event at the venue. So it's WMHWTC.wordpress.com, where you can find out more information about it.
Yeah, and if you go to the Discord as well, there is a channel set up it was predominantly for the UK teams, but pinned to that chat is all of the documentation and everything that you need. So yeah, if you head over to the Discord as well, you'll be able to find the details in there. We have had a question, Norbert, from Glyn, and it does relate to this season 11, and it's
right.
of the Richmond Gaming hosts, Ron, Quinn, and myself, who will progress further this year. And you can say Ron if you want.
There's a very simple answer to that doesn't offend anyone, and it's picking Ron because he's not here.
That was what I was thinking.
So that's the diplomatic one. So now we force him to do the non-diplomatic thing, of course.
I see you guys though as such wild cards that I couldn't possibly pick. Any 3 of you, depending on what kind of jank you decide to think is exciting to play, could mean that you're going to be the hero or just crash and burn. So it's so hard for me to pick between the 3 of you.
We did spend an entire 2 seasons, or at least me and Quinn did. For anyone that doesn't know, Jacob from Xavier Protocols. Although he can't do it now because it's not submitted lists, but it used to be locked in rosters. There was an opportunity to swap things out, but he used to get all the stats. So we purposely built rosters that screwed with all of the stats. So I was running Guardians, and I put was it Doom Prophecy, was a
Yeah,
tactics
we
card that I
also
took.
did you take Viper as
I
and
did take
Cassandra
Viper
Nova.
as well. I think I was
amazing.
I came sixth that year, and I had Viper in my roster. She
I'm
didn't get.
still like furious at the one guy that actually took Ghost Rider without Deal with the Devil. Because I
Yes.
didn't have Ghost Rider and put Deal with the Devil in my list, hoping it would be like 7 Ghost Riders, 8 Deal with the Devils. What's going on here? But no, some pleb didn't fucking take it.
So yes, there we go. And guys, there are,
Shenanigans.
and even if you, as Norbert says, even if you don't want to take part, but you do want to watch the games, lots and lots of people stream them on the Discord server itself. Or you've got people like myself, there's Norbert, there's Chewy, plus a whole bunch of others as well, that will stream both their games and other people's games as well. So head on over and check all of those out. But yeah, just, you know, it's just a really, really good fun experience. But yeah, definitely looking forward to WTC this year, and hopefully we can take home a win for the Brits. It'll be.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got some pretty strong teams, Norbert.
Absolutely.
so-
It's great. We have one that's like of all kind of like really well-known players that has formed. We have another group of up-and-comers who are looking very promising, so I'm excited to see how they do. And then you have my team, which we're calling the Reclaimed Colonists. Because it's from literally, it's made up of every other, it's made up of people who are citizens of the former colonies of one stripe from another.
Your mascot for that team needs to be King George from Hamilton. You need to be like playing his song constantly.
It's so funny you say that because we have a WhatsApp chat to talk about status, and I did change the profile pic to a picture of George III.
So Sean, just really quickly, in case you did miss it. So, in terms of the time commitment, it starts on Sunday evening. So this Sunday coming up, this is for the TTS League. The first round will be drawn, and then it will be 6 weeks with a single game per week. So just one game per week on an evening in your whatever time zone it is you choose to sign up for. Then there's a break of, I think it's 1 or 2 weeks, Norbert, isn't it? And then it goes into the finals. So any player who goes either 5-1 or goes undefeated gets to go into the finals. That then becomes a ranked game. Worth noting as well, actually, all of the games are unranked on Longshanks. They're not designed to be ultra competitive when you're sort of just in the preliminaries. But yeah, once you go into the main event, then again it's another game a week, and depending on how many players qualify, which is determined by how many players sign up initially, will determine that as well. But again, usually another 5 or 6 weeks, depending on how many are in there. So, but it's only ever one game a week, so it's not it's not too taxing. And as I mentioned, I've never had a problem getting a game set up, even with kids and working some crazy hours and stuff. Always managed to find the time to get a game, because you don't have to pack your stuff up and travel to a gaming store and be there at a certain time and restricted by their opening hours. If you want to play at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can play at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's absolutely fine. Cool. So, I mean, the good news, guys, overall is that, there's lots of really cool events that are happening for MCP, not just in the UK, but globally as well. Seeing so many other events that are popping up all over the world. So I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find something, even if you're not able to attend any of the events that we spoke about. So Norbert, we round up the Weekly Bugle with our weekly painting competition.
Right.
Although it's turned into a somewhat of a bi-weekly painting competition now. But essentially we set a challenge every week for our viewers. They submit their entries, and then we pick out, usually we pick out a winner and 2 honourable mentions. It was done very last minute, so I've just picked out a winner today. But the theme that Quinn set, which was a stupid theme, Quinn, I never liked it, was...
Oh, now you voice your opinion.
characters that are in both Marvel Snap, so a game that we play quite a bit as well on the channel, and Marvel Crisis Protocol. So there's lots of crossover. So I did only pick out one this week, and it was Mr. Gooey Chewy, who I believe was the first ever winner of our giveaways. So the remit was you had to pick characters that were in MCP and in Marvel Snap, and then give a reason why. And I did like his reason for this one, Quinn. So he's put up the discard crew. So you've got Wolverine, Ghost Rider, MODOK, Blade. Who else is in there? Hela, Moon Knight, Gambit, Black Cat, and Black Bolt. And he just simply put, I've picked these because whilst they're good in both, he always feels bad when he wins using them, which did make me chuckle because I do love me a discard deck. So well done, Gooey. I think it's Nathan. So well done, buddy. But Norbert, as the guest,
Okay.
one of your responsibilities, and we are putting you on I can't even think, on the spot here, is you need to set a challenge for our viewers for what will be next week's, potentially, depending on whether or not we have any news to talk about.
And so this goes to like a theme, like a color theme, or
It can be
basically anything you want. I've made it so that they have to send a picture in of 2 fully painted rosters before. That my weeks are the most fun.
They're hell. They are absolutely hell. It could be anything. We've had large bases, we've had particular affiliations, we've had colour themes, we've had alternative sculpts, all sorts. So it's
all right. I have a good one.
Okay.
To help people get into a new affiliation and hopefully explore a new branch of the game, I'd like them to paint up a new leader of an affiliation of some kind.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Like that.
Excellent. So any new leader. I like that. I do like that idea. So there you go, guys. The theme for this week is going to be leaders. So pick any leader you want, paint them up, and submit your entries in the usual place over on the Savage Lands Discord. Norbert, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you on, sir. And looking forward to the commentary in the coming weeks. I do enjoy having them on in the background whilst I'm painting. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have a huge, ginormous 4 kilogram Shatterpoint box, which if anyone has seen the size comparisons between sort of the standard FFG, AMG boxes and the Shatterpoint one, it is not fitting on your Kallax IKEA shelves because that thing is an absolute beast. So yeah, be looking forward to listening to and watching some MCP whilst I paint up some of my Star Wars sorry, I said Star Wars Legion then.
Whoa, why are you naming the dead game?
Dead game.
Yeah. How are they? Have they recovered yet from Shatterpoint's release, or are they still...
I think they gave them Ewoks, so they're happy for a bit, I think is the general consensus.
Can you imagine that as like your commiseration prize?
Nub.
Yeah, like, oh, your dog died. Here's a little plastic Ewok. What? I feel like I'd prefer if they just spat in my face at that point. Fucking yub-nub.
There we go. But no, let me ask you the question, because I do ask everyone that comes on. What is Shatterpoint a game you're looking forward to? Is it one that you're looking to get into?
I am so stretched for time, and I do so much of the TO work, as you know, and so forth, that I really, in the past, have found it kind of pointless for me to try to have 2 games going on at once. It definitely does. The game looks fantastic and everything, but I'm so invested at MCP, still enjoying it, looking forward to the releases, have some big events that I'm involved with, so I have to stick with that to stay focused.
Well, no, but I have one thing to say to you in regard to that. Do it.
No, it looks fantastic. It looks fun. I had a demo of it, 1 turn anyway, at Adepticon.
Of course, yes, because you were at Adepticon, weren't you? You got to experience it firsthand. So yeah, excellent, guys. We're going to leave it for there. Leave it for now. Norbert, again, thank you for coming on. Wish you all the best with the TTS League. I'm sure it's going to be a huge success, and hopefully, fingers crossed, Pat can pull his finger out of his ass and get another win in, and at least retain the title for the UK. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Or maybe Showman Genji.
Didn't Pat play his finals game in real life this year as well?
Yes,
I believe.
Yes, he did. He did indeed. At Adepticon, it was the only time that both players were actually free, so they played it live. So which was turns out to be a really good game too. So it was
excellent.
A win-win.
Excellent, great stuff. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time.